The story begins with a girl named Minja who transferred to a new school. Minja had only one wish: to make friends this time. At her previous school, luck seemed to have turned against her. She had never managed to make any friends. Because of this, she was in a down mood on her very first day. But fate had a small surprise for her. When she was introduced to the class, every student welcomed her warmly. Surrounded by this positive atmosphere, Minja thought during recess, "Perhaps today, for the first time, I'll make a friend." Unfortunately, no matter how hard she tried, it had no effect. Everyone ignored her. Then, Jeevan entered the picture. The most popular girl in the school, along with her group of friends, approached Minja and extended a hand of friendship. Minja was astonished that such popular girls wanted to be friends with her. She quickly remembered the socializing tips she'd learned from the internet and applied them to avoid hesitation while speaking. Soon after, Jiwon and her gang invited her to lunch. As they all walked together, Minja's heart filled with joy. Finally, my dream is coming true. But the twist in the story soon began. Jiwon introduced her to some of her male friends, and the moment Minja met them, she felt completely uncomfortable. They weren't just incredibly handsome, they were also super popular. The most serious-looking boy, Yejun, started walking away without even greeting her, but his bracelet suddenly got caught on Minja's collar, causing him to stumble. She quickly caught Yejun, completely confused about what to do. Remembering a video she'd watched about smiling in awkward moments, she gathered her courage, smiled, and softly apologized. Yejun, with a cold attitude, simply said, "Forget it," and left. Jiwon then explained that Yejun and Hyejun were cousins, but complete opposites in personality. Hyejun, the class president, smart and kind, while Yejun known for being reserved and cold. The real fun began in music class, when Minja and Yejun had to share the same seat. The atmosphere, already awkward, grew even heavier. Determined to be social, Minja mustered her courage and tried to start a conversation, but Yejun just put in his earphones. Minja felt a little heartbroken. Later, a teacher called her aside, encouraged her to enjoy her new school, and mentioned that another transfer student would be joining soon. When Minja saw the girl's profile, her eyes widened. The new girl's name was also Minja, but people knew her as Hyun Min, an Instagram influencer with thousands of followers. Her photos were stylish, fashionable, and glamorous, while Minja remained simple, wearing glasses. The biggest shock came when the professor mistook Minja for Hyun Min. Minja wondered, "Have my new friends also mistaken me for Hyun Min? Is my friendship just a mistake?" She was confused, happy to have friends now, but afraid the truth would come out. Then the story took another U-turn. Hyejun came to talk to her, revealing that he knew the truth. Yejun then assured Minja he wouldn't share her secret with anyone. Back in class, her friends praised her social media popularity, but in reality, they were staring at Hyun Min's Instagram profile. For a moment, Minja thought of telling them the truth, but then she realized the girls were only trying to get close so she would follow them online. To escape the awkwardness, Minja lied, saying she no longer used social media. After school, on her way home, Minja felt crushed. Everyone wanted to be friends with her only because they mistook her for someone else. Tears welled in her eyes. She stopped at a shop to buy something sweet, but while paying for some pills, Yejun suddenly grabbed her hand. He had seen her crying on the bridge and feared she might do something drastic. Minja thanked him for caring, then asked a simple but heavy question. "Have you ever thought about what it would feel like to disappear from this world?" Yejun replied, "No, never. Maybe the best thing is just to stay alive." That night when Minja got home, she heard a song titled "Disappear or Stay Alive." The title struck her deeply. She listened and read the comments, realizing she wasn't alone. She left a heartfelt comment, to which the creator quickly replied, "I feel like this too sometimes. But the most important thing is to just stay alive." The next day, the new student finally arrived, Yumin. But Minja was shocked to see her. Yumin looked nothing like her glamorous online persona. Instead, she looked completely nerdy. During recess, Minja found her in the bathroom and asked, "Why do you look like this? You're so beautiful and popular. Why all this?" Yumin answered coldly, "I don't need to tell you anything." At that moment, Minja realized Yumin had deliberately adopted this nerdy look. In class, Min and Jiwon were joking around. Watching them from a distance, Yumin was reminded of her old life, back when she too had friends, playing make-believe and laughing together. But all that was in the past. Now, she believed friendship was worthless. After class, Min tried once again to talk to Yumin, but Yumin didn't want anyone to see them together. She dragged Min into the school storeroom and bluntly told her, "Don't act like you know me. You don't know anything about me." At that moment, Min opened up. She confessed everything, how her current friendships had been built on mistaken identity and how she desperately needed help. But Yumin coldly replied, "That's your problem. Solve it yourself." Meanwhile, Yejun and Hyejun were hanging out together in their usual cousin mode. A little nervously, Hyejun asked, "Are you interested in Min?" Yejun didn't answer immediately. Just then, Jiwon arrived and asked what was going on. When Hyejun explained that people were spreading rumors about Yejun and Min having an affair, both Jiwon and Hyejun started teasing the emo boy, making the scene quite amusing. Then Jiwon announced that she would be throwing a party to welcome Min as the newest member of their group. Soon after, everyone gathered for a lively karaoke party. Amid the fun, Yejun suddenly asked Min to sing a song. It was her welcome party after all. Min grew nervous, since she had never sung in front of anyone before. Hyejun encouraged them, saying, "Why don't you two sing together?" But Yejun replied coolly, "I don't sing, brother." Even so, Min mustered her courage and began singing. To her shock, her voice rang out beautifully. Everyone was stunned. Her performance drew loud applause and cheers, boosting her confidence. After the song ended, Min excused herself and went to the washroom. Little did she know, Yejun had quietly followed her. As soon as she stepped out, Yejun handed her a drink and congratulated her on her performance. In that brief moment, a flicker of interest could be seen in his eyes. The two returned to the karaoke room. A short while later, her friends happily announced that Yumin had accepted their Instagram follow requests. Min's heart dropped. She thought everything, her friendship, her trust, was about to collapse. But then she noticed something odd. Yumin didn't have a single photo on her Instagram profile. This gave Min a sense of relief, but also raised a troubling question. Why did Yumin delete all her photos? Meanwhile, Yejun and Hyejun sat on the balcony, revisiting an old argument that they still couldn't agree on. But Yejun dismissed it coolly, saying, "I don't care." The next day, in music class, Min's eyes kept wandering toward Yejun. He noticed, and after a brief, awkward silence, he surprised her by pulling out a pair of earphones and handing them to her so they could listen to music together. Min was stunned, such a cold boy making such a sweet gesture. When class ended, Jiwon started taking selfies with her friends. Yumin, however, accidentally got in the way. The girls accused her of ruining the photo. In her queenly style, Jiwon approached Yumin and told her to step aside. Yumin played along, pretending to be shy, but she knew exactly what she was doing. As soon as the photo session ended, she walked past everyone and deliberately stepped on Yejun's shoe. Without saying a word, she made an innocent face and quietly moved on. Later, Min and Yumin met on the rooftop. Min thanked her, saying she'd noticed the deleted Instagram photos. Yumin warned her, "Don't get too close to those girls. It'll only cause trouble." Then, for the first time, they shared a secret thought. Maybe things would be easier if they exchanged identities. Min longed to remain popular, while Yumin wanted nothing more than a normal, invisible life. So they struck a deal. Yumin would teach Min how to be popular, and Min would teach Yumin how to be the perfect nerd. The very next morning, while Min was hanging out with her friends, Jiwon asked why she had left her idol agency. Rumor had it Min used to be a trainee. Min was completely confused, but then she caught sight of Yumin, the real trainee, and quickly signaled her to stay quiet. The conversation ended abruptly. A few days later, while shopping and practicing her transformation into a flawless, popular girl, Min unexpectedly ran into Yejun. Their eyes met. After a brief hesitation, they greeted each other, and in that moment, Yejun's quiet interest began to grow, even if he still acted shy. The next day in PE class, all the friends gathered. Jiwon noticed Min's shoes and quickly realized they were fake. A scandal erupted. Fashion icon Min wearing fake shoes? Everyone made a huge fuss. But Yejun stepped in once more, saying he wore the same kind of shoes. Then, jokingly, a friend asked, "Oh, so are you two dating?" The question shifted all attention away from Min's shoes and back toward playful teasing and laughter. Later, in the school storeroom, the two Mins, Min and Yumin, were talking when they suddenly heard footsteps approaching. Quickly, Min hid. The person entering was none other than Hye-jun, who immediately understood the situation and said with a playful smile, "I want to join this secret group too." Just like that, the three of them formed an unspoken alliance. Hye-jun then shared the latest gossip. There was chatter on the school forum about Min's fake shoes. From that point on, whenever Min walked through the halls, people stared and whispered about her. Returning to class, Jiwon apologized for her earlier comment during PE. Min, showing maturity, replied that it was okay and she wasn't angry. Later, however, Min felt guilty when she overheard negative remarks being spread about Yumin, someone who had always been kind to them. The next day, Yumin called Min aside to understand her better. From then on, the two grew even closer. One afternoon, they sat together in a cafe. For the first time, Min was out with a friend, and her joy was clear to see. Yumin asked if she had ever been to a cafe before. Embarrassed, Min admitted she hadn't, despite being popular at school. Seeing this, Yumin quickly snapped a cute photo and said warmly, "Let's make this our new profile picture." Meanwhile, when Ye-jun saw Min's new profile picture, he felt an urge to talk to her, but before he could, Ye-jun appeared, catching him off guard. He noticed Ye-jun hiding something and, grabbing his cousin's hand, realized the truth. The mastermind behind the anonymous posts on the school forum was slowly coming to light. The next day, during casual chatter, the girls began discussing who had a crush on whom. Someone mentioned that Min had become close friends with both cousins, Ye-jun and Hee-jun. Everyone grew a little awkward, since Ye-jun was notoriously cold and difficult to approach. Hearing this, Min realized his attitude wasn't just reserved for her. He was like that with everyone. Still, one question lingered in her heart. Will I ever be able to get closer to him? Soon after, in class, Min witnessed Ye-jun being scolded by a professor for dressing like a college student instead of wearing his uniform. Later, she gently suggested that he try wearing the school uniform, saying it might suit him better. Not long after, Min peeked into the classroom and was stunned. There stood Ye-jun, dressed in full uniform, looking strikingly handsome. She recalled his own words about how clothing could transform a person's aura, and the thought filled her heart with quiet joy. During recess, Ye-jun asked to borrow Min's Korean notes. She gladly handed them over, and in return, he gifted her his favorite music CD as thanks for both the notes and her advice about the uniform. After PE class, Min returned to the classroom wearing a t-shirt she had bought with Yumin, but Jiwon and her gang immediately burst into laughter. "What kind of t-shirt is this? Who wears clothes like that?" Min flushed with embarrassment. Just then, Hye-jun spoke up boldly, "You look like a goddess. And for your information, that t-shirt is very expensive." As he said this, he glanced directly at Yumin. A flashback revealed the reason. Hye-jun had once asked Yumin why she helped Min so much. Yumin's reply was heartfelt, "Because I consider her a true friend and I want to protect her." The scene grew deeply emotional while Jiwon and her friends watched on with jealous eyes. The next day, Min brought Hye-jun a small gift to thank him for his CD, a movie ticket, though only one. Confused, Hye-jun asked if she meant to go alone. Min awkwardly nodded yes, but he quickly suggested otherwise. "No, it'll be better if we go together after school," and so, their first official outing was set. Later, as Min walked down the corridor, Jiwon blocked her path and said, "Let's go to the store where you bought that shirt." But Min bluntly replied, "I can't go. I'm going with Ye-jun." Hearing this, Jiwon's thoughts raced. "Oh, does Ye-jun like Min?" Out loud, she said coolly, "Okay, I can help." But the very next morning, Jiwon sent Min a message. "I need to talk to you about something important." Meanwhile, as Ye-jun and Hye-jun walked into school together, Hye-jun noticed his cousin seemed a little different. "Are you happy?" he asked. Ye-jun, in his usual flat tone, replied, "I'm just the same as always." But Hye-jun could see right through him. His cousin was hiding something. Elsewhere, Min finally met Jiwon, who was acting unusually innocent. Jiwon brought up the dilemma of love versus friendship, then casually asked, "Do you like Ye-jun? Because look, he invited you on a date." Min was shocked, but after thinking it over, she replied, "No, I don't like him," because she was beginning to suspect that Jiwon herself liked him, and Min didn't want their friendship to be damaged. But Jiwon didn't stop there. She quickly added, "Well, I don't like Ye-jun either. He invites every girl on outings anyway." Hearing this, Min's mind filled with confusion. Was Ye-jun truly serious about her, or was this just his habit? Torn by doubt, she gave the movie ticket to Ji-won, letting her go with him instead. When the time for the date came, Ji-won showed up in full alpha mode, perfectly styled. But Ye-jun was shocked to see Ji-won instead of Min. Though thrown off, he didn't show it, and the date carried on. Meanwhile, Min met Yumin at the park and confessed everything. Furious, Yumin realized Ji-won had lied and stolen Min's chance. Without delay, Yumin decided to call Hye-jun. Inside the theater, Ye-jun struggled to understand why Ji-won was there, but then he noticed Min arriving, with Hye-jun. Jealousy burned inside him. The heat in the room was palpable. Before the movie started, the group went to a shooting game room. Min surprised everyone with her sharp gun skills, impressing Hye-jun, who congratulated her. Just as he went for a high five, Ye-jun extended his hand too, creating a brief but tense moment between the cousins. Later, seated inside the theater, Ye-jun couldn't keep his emotions in check. Watching his crush sitting with his cousin and Ji-won made his jealousy even more obvious. As soon as the movie ended, Hye-jun quickly grabbed Ji-won's hand and said, "Let me drop you home." But in reality, his plan was to leave Min and Ye-jun alone. On the way, Ji-won sensed what was happening. She asked Hye-jun if he knew she didn't like him. Hye-jun, no longer able to hold back, answered bluntly, "I know you don't like me. You're just jealous of Min, and you'd better not cross the line." Ji-won froze, realizing the person in front of her wasn't an ordinary guy. Meanwhile, Min and Ye-jun walked home together. Min softly asked, "Did you really want to invite me on a date?" Deep inside, Ye-jun's answer was a clear yes, but his shy nature made it hard to admit. Just as Min reached home, Ye-jun finally mustered the courage to say, "I'm really happy you came on a date." That one line made Min's entire day. That night, Min listened to a song by her favorite artist and left a heartfelt comment. Coincidentally, the playlist's creator noticed and was surprised to see Min felt the same way as they did. The next day, during recess, while the girls were gossiping as usual, Ji-won began feeling distant. She faked being unwell to avoid the cafeteria. The truth was, she was still furious at Min, especially after the movie. Sitting alone, she wondered, when did I become jealous of her? At first, Ji-won had no ill intentions. She assumed Min was just another ordinary girl, someone she could win over with her usual fake compliments. But Min's natural personality quickly drew everyone's attention, while Ji-won slowly found herself sidelined. From then on, Ji-won began to see Min as a threat, not just to her friendships, but to her position. When Ji-won saw a photo of Yumin and Min together, flooded with compliments online, she knew she had to act. She called her friend Do-hee and told a blatant lie, "I like Ye-jun, and I told Min this." But she still interfered with my date with Hye-jun. Do-hee was stunned. Her first reaction was, "Oh, she's a real snake, pretending to be a friend while stabbing you in the back." The next day, while Min was chatting with Hee-jun and his friends, she noticed her old friends at a distance and tried to join them for lunch. But when she did, they treated her coldly, accusing her of ignoring them just to chase boys. Ji-won's plan had worked perfectly. Min was cut off from her friend group, left alone in the cafeteria, heartbroken. What hurt her most, though, was when Ye-jun and his cousin noticed her sitting by herself. They joined her, trying to comfort her, but that only fueled more gossip. Soon the entire school was whispering, "She's so clever, dating both the most popular boys." Hearing this, Min was devastated. Overwhelmed, she left immediately. She ran to Yumin and explained everything. Yumin reassured her, saying, "You did nothing wrong. These girls were never your true friends. That's why they turned against you." The following day, Min was still gloomy, but Ye-jun noticed and decided to cheer her up. He showed her a sad sketch he had drawn, yet it was so silly that Min couldn't help but smile. That small gesture touched her heart more deeply than he could have imagined. This deepened Hee-jun's feelings toward Ji-won and Do-hee. That night, he tried a new trick. He approached Ji-won and Do-hee, offering Ji-won what he called a masterclass in acting. Pretending to be interested in Ji-won, he asked Do-hee to leave them alone for a while. Do-hee's face fell instantly because there was something unspoken. She actually liked Hee-jun herself. Still, she backed away, leaving the two alone. Ji-won, however, confronted him directly. "Why are you doing this? You know your friend likes you." Hye-jun's answer was blunt, cold, and shocking. "You've already done the same thing. Don't act so innocent with Min." Then he added something even heavier. He knew a secret about Jiwon that no one else knew, something only he had kept. The next day, after physical education class, an old photo of Jiwon suddenly went viral on the school forum. In it, she looked completely different, not glamorous at all. Students were shocked. Gossip spread like wildfire, and some even grew angry as though they had been betrayed. Jiwon's secret was no longer a secret, and her whole world flipped upside down. A flashback revealed the truth. Jiwon had once been bullied and harassed at school. One day, she met Hyejun at a bus stop, and from that meeting, their friendship began. Both had been determined to leave behind their old selves and reinvent who they were. Now, Jiwon couldn't understand why the very friend who had started that journey with her was humiliating her. She began to wonder if everything had only changed after Min's arrival. Another secret came to light. Hyejun, who seemed kind and simple, wasn't always so innocent. In the past, he had exposed his own cousin by leaking a video of him giving a singing audition. The class had erupted in laughter, humiliating his cousin. When his cousin found out that Hyejun had now done the same to Jiwon, he confronted him. "You haven't changed at all." Hyejun tried to defend himself. "I just wanted to help. I had no idea it would turn out like this," but the truth was darker. He had always felt inferior to his cousin, believing that people were drawn to him only because of his cousin, not for who he was. That jealousy had driven him to such acts. Back in the present, Hyejun confessed everything to Yumin. He admitted that he had made Jiwon's old photo go viral and had even spread rumors about Min. But Min herself arrived at that very moment and overheard everything. Her heart shattered. She cried. She had trusted Hyejun as a true friend, someone good. Now she feared he might betray her the same way. That night, Hyejun waited for Min. When she arrived, he admitted he was angry at his cousin and that he missed her. Min stayed quiet at first, but when Hyejun began to walk away, she stopped him and suggested, "Let's go to karaoke. It'll lift my mood." At karaoke, Min noticed Hyejun's hesitation to sing. He finally opened up, revealing another layer of his past. Ever since his cousin mocked him in public, he had been terrified of becoming a laughingstock again. That fear still held him back from singing. Min encouraged him gently, lightening the mood with a sweet song. Slowly, Hyejun's face brightened, and he overcame his hesitation. He sang a beautiful song for her. The moment reminded Min of all the good times they had shared. After the song ended, she thought of telling Hyejun her biggest secret, but fear held her back. Instead, another surprise came. Hyejun confessed, "I'm in love with you, Min." She was stunned. Deep down, she knew she hadn't been fully honest with him, so she asked for time to think. That night, excited, Min called Yumin and told her everything, how Hyejun had confessed and asked her out. She thanked Yumin, saying none of it would have been possible without her support. The next day, Jiwon sat with a friend, plotting how to fix her tarnished image. Her friend suggested a bold idea: start a relationship with the new transfer student, a stylish, athletic boy. But the twist was cruel. This boy was none other than Yumin's ex-boyfriend. The girls simply didn't know that yet. Later, when Jiwon approached Min to talk, Min sensed her old friend had changed. They reminisced, letting go of old grievances. For the first time in a while, it felt like they could be friends again. During their conversation, Jiwon showed Min a photo of the athlete who had been her blind date. To Min, he was just a stranger, but in reality, he was the same boy transferring from Yumin's old school. Curious, Min said she would ask her friend Yumin about him. When Min later brought up the athlete, Yumin's expression darkened instantly. Her face fell, anger flashing in her eyes. To her, he wasn't just a boy, he was a knife. Min couldn't understand this reaction, unaware that he was the same boy who had ruined Yumin's past. Yumin walked away, leaving the conversation unfinished. The story then revealed a flashback from 4 months ago. Yumin had been in a relationship with this athlete, but one day, when she refused his advances, he tried to assault her. Gathering her courage, she confronted him at school. However, since he was a promising athlete, the school refused to take action without more evidence. They called in Yumin's best friend to testify. But in a heartbreaking twist, that same best friend, who had secretly been in love with the athlete, betrayed her, giving false testimony in his favor. Devastated, Yumin was branded a liar. Rumors spread that she had falsely accused her boyfriend, and the entire school turned against her. The next day, students distanced themselves, and she was left in isolation. At this point, remember, Min wasn't really Yumin. She was simply attending school under her name. Even so, the real Yumin eventually found out about the incident, but it didn't matter to her because she knew what kind of person Min truly was. One day, after class, Yejun spoke to Min privately. Though the atmosphere was awkward, he gave her a sweet smile and told her they could be friends whenever she was ready to share her secrets. Meanwhile, Hyejun confronted Jiwon. He apologized for leaking her old photo and swore never to hurt anyone again. At first, Jiwon suspected he was still hiding something, but no, this time he was genuinely remorseful. Before leaving, he told her bluntly that her obsession with always being number one wouldn't take her anywhere. During this time, Yumin stopped attending school altogether, locking herself in her room. But one day when she stepped out, she found a surprise waiting, a food basket and a heartfelt letter from Min. Touched by this gesture, she felt that Min truly cared for her as a real friend. A few days later, the two reunited. Min burst into tears, not realizing the depth of Yumin's pain. She begged her to return to school and prove to everyone that she wasn't a liar, but a victim. Then came another crisis. Jiwon, in a panic, called Min. She had begun dating the handsome athlete, and at first everything seemed fine. But soon he revealed his true self, becoming aggressive and toxic. Terrified, Jiwon called Min for help. Min, who was with Yumin at the time, rushed to her side. When they confronted the boy, he cleverly twisted the story, portraying himself as the victim, claiming the girls were trying to ruin his career. But Jiwon stood her ground, exposing him as abusive and unforgivable. Then Yumin stepped forward with her ace. She had recorded the entire confrontation. With sharp determination, she warned him, "Never even come close to these girls again." The next day, life slowly calmed. Yumin's confidence returned. Walking to school together, Min told her she had an errand and slipped away to meet Yejun. And here came the turning point. Min confessed she had betrayed everyone, even her best friend. She revealed the truth. She wasn't the real Yumin. She no longer wanted to be the hardworking, quiet girl she once was. She wanted popularity instead. Hearing this, Yejun was stunned. He declared flatly that he no longer wanted to be her friend. Min, devastated, turned to leave. But there was a twist. His words weren't meant to push her away completely. Deep down, Yejun wanted something more. He wanted Min to be his girlfriend. For Min, it was a bittersweet revelation. Yet her journey wasn't finished. Back in class, she stood before everyone and revealed the truth. With clear determination, she declared, "If anyone dares harass Yejun, they'll have to face me first." This bold revelation lifted a heavy burden from her shoulders, filling her with unexpected relief. Wanting to return to a normal school life, she made another huge decision. She deleted all her social media accounts, even if it meant losing hundreds of followers. Time passed, and though Min and Yejun's relationship blossomed at first, it too began to falter. Their bond faced cracks, and eventually, they experienced a painful breakdown. A new beginning dawns. It is here that Min makes a life-changing discovery. The playlist she had been listening to every single day, the one that gave her comfort through her struggles, was owned by none other than Yejun. With this emotional revelation, the beautiful journey of our drama comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss the next video. Thank you.